Well, I finally did it. Let me tell you a little story. One about me being a bitch with my money. I love SH Figuarts. When I bought my very first one, I immediately fell in love with it. It just scratched every itch in my brain. I love the collectible aspect of them, the characters they make, the accessories, the articulation, and everything else about them. I'm clearly not the only one who feels this way about them, as figures have only gotten more and more popular, to the point where you can find them in your Walmarts and Targets. Despite my love for them, I can still say they're not all perfect. Articulation could be a bit disappointing, there's questionable design choices, lack of accessories for the price point, and the likeness might not always be there. Yet none of these will stop me from loving these figures. When issues like these arise, Tamashii will sometimes re-release them in order to fix them, but not always. So when Tamashii won't fix these issues, leave it to the third parties to step up. From the moment I started buying Figuarts, I immediately saw posts about third party figures and accessories. Hell, I would argue that when it comes to Dragon Ball Figuarts, half of the discussion is about official figure releases and the other half is about whatever the third parties are releasing. Now, it's important that we make the line between a bootleg and a third party clear. A bootleg is a product that tries to exactly copy the original product and trick the consumer into thinking it's the original thing. Third parties, on the other hand, are figures from studios making whole new sculpts. They don't have the licensor's approval, so they'll often package their figures in different looking packaging to avoid legal issues, but they're not trying to fool the consumer into thinking it's an official piece of merch. However, there's a messy middle line between bootlegs and third parties. I don't know what to call these figures. They're a bootleg of the original made by a third party company. A company like CT Toys is what may come to mind first, as their bootlegs of Figuarts, Mayfex, and Amazing Yamaguchis are some of the most popular out there. If you're a Dragon Ball Figuarts fan though, there's another company that may come to mind first, a third party that goes by the name of Demonical. For the past couple of years, Demonical have made highly demanded characters that Tamashii just seemed opposed to giving us. However, that's only about half of their output, since the other half is bootlegs. Calling these bootlegs seems disrespectful. A lot of them are almost indistinguishable to the official release, and sometimes they make improvements and include extra things that many hoped the original would come with. The biggest example of this is the one currently in front of you. For a while now, I've been wanting that Super Saiyan 4 Goku Figuart that came out a while ago, especially after that daima episode aired. However, you know what happens when a fan favorite form is reintroduced and the Figuarts version came out years ago with no reprint in sight. There you go. If I looked really hard and was willing to take a couple of sacrifices like box damage and flaws on the figure itself, then I could definitely bring that price down and closer to retail. But that's when I had a realization. I don't want to spend this much on the official one, but I still really want a Super Saiyan 4 Goku figure. I was left in this dilemma for a total of 24 hours because I ended up buying the Demonical Fig Super Saiyan 4 Goku from AliExpress while slightly drunk. The choices alcohol leads us to. Well, he came quick and you've heard me yap enough. Let's actually look at this figure and everything it offers. I really love the way Demonical Fit does their boxes. Demonical Fit uses the template of SDCC exclusive boxes, which is awesome. Mine did come in pretty damaged, which I expected since an AliExpress order with no extra padding besides a little bit of bubble wrap is going to do that. We're still not here for the box, so let's just get them out and start this review. And oh man, we got a good amount to cover today, but before we do that, a little disclaimer. As soon as I took the guy out of the box, his joints were tight. I was scared to even test them, especially the right arm. So I gave him a good hot water bath, and thankfully, that did the trick. You might have to do the same if you get this guy. Just a little PSA. I think one of the main things that people fear when buying a third-party figure for the first time is the aesthetics of it. Will the figure look good? Will it look like the initial pictures and prototypes? Because if a figure looks horrible, then it's hard to truly enjoy it in my opinion. Well, taking this guy out of the box, and my first impressions are that he looks phenomenal. This looks and feels like an official SH Figuart. We're technically looking at an incomplete version of this figure because included inside of the first tray is his tail. You just plug it into the hole right above his butt, and no, I'm not rephrasing that or saying it in any other way, you freaks. With the tail plugged in, this figure's look is complete, and oh boy, where to begin. Opinions on Super Saiyan 4 as a form differ depending on who you ask, but when it comes to the look of this form, man, almost everyone can agree that it looks great, and this figure captures it perfectly. His hair has this nice amount of volume to it with all the bangs sculpted perfectly. The bangs in the back go down about halfway through his back, which is accurate. Going down to his faces, and they capture his look in GT perfectly. I love how on the screaming face, the teeth and tongue are sculpted on, which gives a nice amount of depth to them. The fur is detailed all around to get the illusion of, you know, fur, and the chest and abs are sculpted on great. There is some messy paintwork on mine, specifically on the left butterfly joint and the part where the chest and abs connect to the fur, but they aren't ever noticeable. Speaking of the chest and abs, I feel like they should be reversed, since technically his fur is on top of his skin. If you don't know what I mean, the hands actually do this, since the fur on them is sculpted on top of the hands. However, since the chest and abs are sculpted on top of the fur, it makes his muscles really pop out and defined. Like, damn Goku, put that shit away. The pants are wrinkled all throughout and actually have a bit of shading to them, which helps really really sell that wrinkled look even more. And finally, his boots also have a nice amount of detail sculpted into them and painted pretty clean. In terms of aesthetics, this figure has already nailed it, but what about the accessories? The original Super Saiyan 4 came with a good amount of accessories, and I'm happy to say that the Demonical fit comes with everything included in the original with some slight differences. This guy comes with a total of 4 faceplates. We get a serious face, a teeth gritting face, a yelling face, and a cocky smile face that's looking to the left. These all technically came with the original figure, but Demonical fit did something a little different. The original teeth gritting face had Goku looking to his left, while this one has him looking straight. Revolutionary, I know. This is actually something I'm really glad they changed, because I don't like when figures do this. It just locks the faceplate to one specific angle and makes it feel so limiting. So I'm glad Demonical fit fixed the issue, but ironically enough, the smirking face that's looking to the left was originally looking straight in the original release. They fixed the problem only to give it to another face. We can't win, can we? Nah, they actually did this so we can recreate a very specific shot, but we'll talk about that later. Hand selection is thankfully the exact same and what you expect out of a Goku figure. 2 fists, 2 fighting stands, 2 open hands, 2 instant transmission hands, 2 Kamehameha hands, and another pair of those hands with a peg. Yeah, you know what these hands mean. You get a Kamehameha effect piece included with this guy, and if you're wondering why it's red, well, go watch GT. Okay, I know you won't, so I'll just tell you. It's because this isn't just a regular Kamehameha, this is the 10 times Kamehameha. It's exactly what the name implies, a 10 times more powerful Kamehameha, and I'm really glad that this is included. I love getting any key effect pieces with Dragon Ball characters, and I think more should include some. If you have the legendary Super Saiyan Goku, it works just like that one. Just match the pieces with the holes and you're all good. This first tray is cool and all, but that's not what makes this figure neat. It's not even the reason why people bought this figure despite owning the original. The magic of this figure is in the second tray, and this is how you know this figure isn't official. Tamashii giving us a whole second tray of accessories? That's the funniest thing I've heard, but the Demonical fit is thankfully not like that. The first thing you get included with this tray is a crossed arms accessory. This plugs in just like any other cross armed accessory usually included with SH Figuarts, and it looks nice, but I don't really imagine Goku with crossed arms. That's a Vegeta thing, and even more of a Gogeta thing while he's in Super Saiyan 4. Then we get some really good head sculpt for GT Kid Goku. It's a very simple head swap, and oh my god, dude, this is gorgeous. I said it before, but I love the more blonde yellow color for Super Saiyan compared to the newer yellow they like to use. The shading is genuinely better than most official SH Figuarts, and all 4 faceplates are painted perfectly. Oh yeah, did I mention that you get 3 extra faceplates? You get the default smile, a yelling face, a teeth gritting face, and a serious face. To not only get an extra head sculpt, but 3 extra faces for a completely different figure is amazing. It makes GT Kid Goku feel like a new figure, which is good since this figure is actually really underrated considering what you can do if it has such a small size. These are peak, but there's one more accessory included that is my favorite. This rock. I'm serious. Let me get into a little rant about effect pieces and accessories. Let's say you just bought the new Rengoku SH Figuarts. He looks great, comes with a decent amount of accessories, and poses great, but there's something missing. Rengoku feels incomplete without any fire effects. So you go online and purchase some fire effects that should hopefully fix the issue, right? Well, it does, but not really. It just doesn't feel right. You didn't look up the Figma version of Rengoku, and then you see it, the perfect fire effects for Rengoku. You then wonder why these fire effects you bought don't give you the same satisfaction as the one that came with the Figma version. I'll tell you why. These aren't stylized for Rengoku at all. I used Rengoku specifically, but you could apply this issue to all the Demon Slayer Figuarts. I just don't like it when there aren't personalized effects or accessories for these figures. The way fire and water is depicted in Demon Slayer is gorgeous and unique to it, and I want that exact look when it comes to these figures, but Tamashii refuses because, oh, you could just buy these fire effect pieces meant for every SH Figuart. And while yeah, those effect pieces are cool, and I hope Tamashii doesn't stop doing them, I just want my damn fire dragon. Sorry. The SH Figuarts Ace from One Piece is one of my favorite figures of this year, and some of that love for him comes from the amount of accessories included with him, including these fire effect pieces. These fire effect pieces are a perfect example of why stylized effect pieces are so much better, because this perfectly captures the way Oda draws fire, and when you use it with Ace or any other One Piece figure, it just looks perfect and elevates the look. I brought all that up because when Tamashii revealed the promos for Super Saiyan 4 Goku, one of the promo pics was a Goku standing on a rock. This was trying to recreate that iconic shot from the opening, but they didn't use the rock from the opening. Why would they? They haven't made it. Instead, they used rocks from the effect piece set. It worked, but that's when Demonical fit descended from the sky and showed us what peak truly looked like. This rock is genuinely phenomenal, and like half the reason I wanted the Demonical fit version of this figure. The shading, the layers, the paint, the attention to detail is amazing for a rock. Hell, I think it makes the actual figure look a bit cheap by comparison. On the top of it, there's 2 smooth indents where you're supposed to put Goku's feet, and you remember that smirking faceplate from earlier? Combine that face with the feet placement and Oh my god, bro, my pants are wet now. This is gorgeous. Compare it to the final shot of the opening, and yeah, Demonical fit well with this figure. The accessories make this figure feel premium, despite official premium figures coming with way less. Not only do you get a good selection of faces and hands, but you get accessories that elevate this figure's fun. While the accessories that left me more than satisfied enough with this figure, my true enjoyment for it will come down to the articulation, and if Demonical fit was able to recapture it with this guy. The original Super Saiyan 4 Goku Figuart was the first Goku figure to include 3.0 technology, since they would have to make a whole new sculpt for this form, which probably horrified Tamashii, considering the amount of 2.0 Goku figures we gotten. Anyway, starting with the head, and while you might think the hair may limit some head movement, it actually barely does. The hair in general is made of this more flexible plastic, and the front bangs and hair on the back are on a hinge-like joint. Thanks to this, we can get Goku to look really high up, even if that neck might be poking out a bit. He can look left, right, and gets pretty standard moving out of the head. The upper body is interesting because it kind of sucks. The arms are the best part of the upper body. The shoulders and butterfly joints are phenomenal on this figure since they allow you to cross Goku's arms easily and actually allow you to hold a Kamehameha pose. They also go pretty high up. He's got that bicep swivel, a really good double jointed elbow, and the typical wrist movement. The arms are great, but the reason I say this upper body sucks is because of that upper diaphragm, since it doesn't really work. There's no crunch forward, and I could barely get any tilt. The waist joint helps fix some of these issues, but it also feels really stiff, and you still can't really get a deep crunch or much movement from it. Thankfully, the legs are the complete opposite and are actually really good. This was one of the most improved on parts with the 3.0 body, as the new legs offer much more range while not looking as clunky. Starting with the upper area of the legs, and oh boy, this figure can do a perfect split with some rotation, which is neat. The legs go this high up and this far back. He's got that traditional 3.0 thigh swivel, which I'll be honest, I don't really love. They just don't feel right when using, but they do work, so I can't complain too much about them. He's got some beautiful double jointed knees, but there will be a lot of gappage when using them, and I mean a lot. It's only an issue when looking at it from the front, but like, still. Then the shoes can go up, down, get a good amount of movement left and right, and have a toe joint. Bootlegs and articulation in the same sentence is funny because half the time, even slightly moving them causes them to break, but that is nowhere near the case with Demonical fit. They move and pose just as any official figure can. Some of the joints can come in tight, but acting like official figures don't come with the same issues out of the box is just plain dumb. While the upper body is disappointing, the legs thankfully make up for it and allow you to get some really cool poses despite that. Accuracy, phenomenal. Accessories, peak. Articulation, it suffices. The last thing we gotta consider with this figure is the scale, and this is another big change that Demonical Fit did with this figure, as their version is literally bigger, like significantly bigger. This guy is a whopping 6.5 inches compared to the original 6 inches. Now, a lot of people think the original Super Saiyan 4 Goku figure was too short and stumpy, and to be honest, I kind of agree. In fact, I think since Tamashii made Goku shorter, it ruined the scaling for the GT line. It's the reason why Super 17 and Trunks are so small, because they have to scale for Goku that's too short. I always imagine Super Saiyan 4 Goku as tall and big, and Demonical Fit thankfully allows me to display him like that now, and it just feels right seeing him this tall compared to other Dragon Ball figures. Overall, this Goku figure is peak. If it was official, I'd be more than satisfied with the figure, but this isn't official. This is a bootleg made by a third-party company that completely demolished the official release. If you had the choice between both, I really can't recommend this one enough. Sure, I don't own the original one, but I feel like there's nothing about the official release that offers more other than it being official. If this is the quality of third-party figures, then yeah, I'm buying a lot more of them. If this video convinced you to get this guy, I'm sorry to say that he's not really cheap anymore. You're lucky to get him below $70, and most likely will have to pay $80 to $100 for him. I don't know if he's worth that price personally, but if you're able to get a good deal for him, go for it. In fact, he's so good, I'm done with these official companies. Goodbye Tamashii, goodbye Amazing Yamaguchi, and especially goodbye Marvel Legends. This will be the new display from now on.